There is one other valuable piece of information to remember here. It is a simple one. People who prepared and broadcast fake fictionalized history programs and material over the new medium television in unmonitored pirate broadcasts before television was regulated after World War II and their descendants do not have any magic powers or right of self-exemption from reality or the law. They cannot make up any fictional story they like to steal whatever they want, no matter how pushy or violent they get about it. Regardless of the pointless hours put into embellishing the historical lies since the 1950s, including into the modern computer age. They will talk as if they are minutes away from stealing millions in seconds from randomly chosen bank accounts whenever they need money with a 3-minute internet transaction with some fake video, images, and audio and a repugnantly obvious corrupt sports result to go with it that they don't talk about as if wrong at all. But they are not getting that world. Regardless of how much of a violently perverted, disgusting, and spoilt brat screeching dribbling lunatic corruption act they put on. Including the my ancestors faked that information for television starting 1949, spoilt brat child, whimpering lunatic noise. They are incessantly pathetic, violent, and annoying. Screeching that their plans for randomly taking whatever they want to steal with adulterated brat corrupt vomit on the TV and internet to match are mesmerizing to the intended victim that makes the victim play along. If the violence since satellites went into orbit and 24-hour multispectrum perverted illegal surveillance that is available to them didn't get it done for them by the year 2000, it never will. Intergenerational arguments don't cut it. They are not more thug magical than their ancestors and relatives responsible for the intellectual vomit in the 1940s and 1950s just because they have computers to do it with now. The amount of commensurately insane sports corruption to go with their brat attitude is abhorrent. It is never going to happen. Everyone knows it. Assumed residual inherent fear of them as associates of the perpetrators from World War II doesn't work. It never will. As an example, when I was assaulted and my semen stolen when unconscious at age 16 in October 1988, a female used my stolen sperm on her boyfriend's penis in front of her video camera that same night in a building I have never been into. She recorded it on videotape. He was a descendant of a person executed in 1917 for pretending to be a Romanov royal in public for the first time after my real Romanov family royals were abducted and murdered the year before in 1916. She didn't get pregnant with his sperm. It was my stolen sperm. She was around 40 at the time. She must be nearing the 80 mark now. After the first pregnancy to my stolen sperm was given birth to, they decided to, quote, try a little fake history television magic on me. They wrote a script for a television series and it went into production. Their retardedly implausible theory was that if they could make me pretend I am bisexual and I was there watching her have sex with her boyfriend but just out of shot behind the camera, they might be able to steal off me. As if them pretending I consented to her using my sperm on her boyfriend's penis whilst watching them have sex and ejaculated especially for her but was out of shot for it would override the constitutional monarchy law and make the result of the pregnancy eligible to be royalty in my royal family in some way. Just because she had the videotape and they could alter it. Complete rubbish. They took film footage of her house where I collapsed and was assaulted outdoors, some other film of the surrounding area. Collected up all the directly involved perpetrators' furniture and items of clothing etc. Then, I have to say allegedly, used it in the new TV series. Then they made her over in an attempt to make her look like an American teenager who was dressed up for the prom. Got her pregnant with my stolen sperm again and took photographs of her posing to look like an around 18-year-old American female whilst she squirmed in disgust at having my stolen, rape-obtained, 16-year-old's homosexual sperm inside her whilst the photographs were taken. Then, again I have to say allegedly, used the photos in the TV series as pictures of a murdered teenage female in the series. It was called Twin Peaks, apparently. They pretended if I watched it, I would be mesmerized by it, and stalking of me by satellite and in person, into pretending it was a bisexual three-way, and I ejaculated in her hands for her on request. As if that would make the children eligible for any of my royal family estates or other assets. I watched around 1.5 episodes when it was on twice a week at the time. They had people stalking me at high school talking about it incessantly as if it was the most awesome spooky TV show ever put on TV. I thought it was boring rubbish where people just fondled the same furniture over and over again and looked at the same photos of the fictional victim holding them and staring. Which looked silly. Zoolander spooky and absolute rubbish and never watched it again. They are still pretending I might try to find her for a chat. She must be around 80 by now. As if all constitutional monarchy law can be worked around illegally provided it is fake history. The series crashed in popularity afterwards. Rubbish. Descendants of those first fake history programs for the TV after WW2 and the extremely elderly ones still alive are not getting whatever they want whenever they demand it. They are a worse problem than anyone ever factors in. Including missed shots at goal by their relatives being awarded a goal live in TV despite the obvious miss and nobody appearing to say a word as if it wasn't even noticeable. They are still pretending they are allowed to stalk me because I didn't watch and try to play along as if mesmerized. Too low for words.